In the mists of time, in ancient Greece, the gods held dominion over all, residing high above the mortal realm on Mount Olympus. This majestic peak, shrouded in clouds and mystery, was the seat of their power, and at their head, upon a throne of gold and ivory, sat Zeus, the king of gods and men. His presence commanded respect. His gaze held the weight of the world. Zeus was the god of the sky, the master of the heavens. He controlled the very air they breathed. He wielded the power of thunder and lightning, and he was the embodiment of justice. He was a figure of immense power and authority, a being whose decisions shaped the destinies of gods and mortals alike. He was seen as the father of gods and mortals, the patriarch of a vast and complex family, each with their own strengths and flaws. He was responsible for maintaining order in the universe, ensuring that chaos did not consume the world. He was the lawgiver, ensuring the laws of nature and society were upheld and that balance was preserved in all things. Zeus's influence touched every aspect of Greek life, permeating their culture and beliefs. From the rising sun that painted the sky with vibrant colours to the Olympic Games, a grand spectacle held in his honour, celebrating strength, skill and devotion. He was both a wise judge, dispensing wisdom and guidance, and a fearsome enforcer, capable of unleashing his wrath upon those who dared to defy him. He was quick to punish those who broke sacred oaths or defied him, delivering divine retribution with swift and terrible force. As the guardian of hospitality, he ensured that guests were treated with respect and kindness, and as the keeper of oaths, he held individuals accountable for their promises and commitments. Zeus shaped the values and culture of the Greeks, influencing their art, literature and philosophy. His myths taught lessons about morality, exploring the complexities of human nature and the consequences of our actions. They also spoke of power, both divine and mortal, and the delicate balance of the natural world. More than just a character in ancient stories, Zeus was a symbol of ultimate authority, a representation of the supreme power that governed the cosmos. He remains a figure of enduring fascination, whose legacy continues to captivate and inspire us today. Zeus was always depicted as a powerful, bearded king, an image that endures in art and myth. His most famous symbol was the thunderbolt, representing his control over the sky and his power to enforce divine law. The eagle, his sacred bird, symbolized his far-reaching vision and connection to the heavens. Zeus also carried a royal scepter, marking him as the ruler of gods and men. These symbols, the thunderbolt, eagle, and scepter, instantly identified him and reminded Greeks of his strength and authority. The thunderbolt spoke of his victory over chaos, the eagle of his justice, and the scepter of his right to rule. Through these images, Zeus's presence felt real, whether in a temple statue or a gathering storm. His symbols were more than art. They were the essence of his divine identity. The saga of Zeus, the king of the gods, begins not in triumph, but in secrecy and danger. His very existence was a threat, a spark that could ignite a cosmic war. His father, Cronus, driven by paranoia and a thirst for power, swallowed each of his children whole, a desperate act to maintain his tyrannical reign. This gruesome act was fueled by a chilling prophecy, foretelling that one of his own offspring would rise to overthrow him and end his dominion. When Rhea, Zeus's mother, discovered she was pregnant, she was determined to protect her child from Cronus's monstrous appetite. She sought refuge and gave birth to Zeus in a hidden cave on the island of Crete, far from her husband's watchful eyes. To deceive Cronus, Rhea presented him with a swaddled stone, disguised as the newborn Zeus. The unsuspecting Titan swallowed it without hesitation, believing he had averted his fate. Raised in secret by nymphs who nurtured him with ambrosia and nectar, and protected by the Curetes, warriors whose clashing shields masked the infant's cries, Zeus grew in strength and wisdom, preparing for his future role. Zeus grew strong and clever, honing his skills and preparing for the day he would challenge his father. When he came of age, the time for hiding was over. Zeus knew he had to confront his destiny. Zeus, with the help of the wise goddess Metis, who possessed knowledge of herbs and potions, began to plot his revenge. Together, they concocted a powerful potion designed to undo Cronus's terrible deeds. Zeus stealthily administered the potion to Cronus, and the Titan convulsed, violently regurgitating the swallowed gods and goddesses, Poseidon, Hades, Hera, Hestia and Demeter. United, Zeus and his brothers and sisters, now fully grown and possessing formidable powers, formed a powerful alliance, ready to challenge their oppressor. They prepared to challenge the Titans, the old guard of gods, for control of the heavens and the earth. The stage was set for a cataclysmic battle, a war that would determine who would rule the cosmos and shape the destiny of mortals. This daring escape and family reunion marked a turning point in the history of the gods, a moment of hope amidst the darkness. It set the stage for a war that would reshape the universe, a conflict between the old order and the new, between tyranny and justice. Zeus's rise was not just about power, it was about something far greater. It was about fulfilling destiny and restoring balance to a world consumed by chaos and fear, a world desperately in need of a just and benevolent ruler. From hidden child raised in secrecy and fear to leader of gods, a beacon of hope for a new generation, Zeus's journey was the foundation of Greek myth, a testament to courage, resilience, and the enduring power of family. His victory would mark the beginning of a new era, an age of gods and heroes, of myths and legends that would echo through the ages. The world would never be the same, forever changed by the rise of Zeus and the dawn of a new Olympian order. With his siblings freed from the clutches of Cronus, Zeus, now a beacon of hope for the oppressed, stepped forward to lead the Olympians. He rallied his brothers and sisters, preparing them for a conflict that would determine the fate of the cosmos. Thus began a decade-long war, a clash of titans in every sense, known as the Titanomachy. This was not merely a battle, it was a struggle for the very soul of existence. The battle shook the world, the very foundations of reality trembling under the might of the warring factions. Mountains crumbled, oceans boiled, and the sky itself was torn asunder. Gods and titans, beings of immense power, were locked in a fierce struggle for supremacy, each side determined to establish their dominion over the universe. The clash echoed through eternity. Realizing he needed more power, a strategic advantage to overcome the Titan's might, Zeus knew he had to seek unconventional allies. Zeus made a daring move, venturing into the depths of Tartarus to free the Cyclopes and Hecatoncheires, ancient beings of immense strength. In gratitude, the Cyclopes, master craftsmen of the divine realm, forged Zeus's thunderbolts, weapons of unimaginable power. They also crafted Poseidon's trident, a symbol of his dominion over the seas, and Hades' helmet of invisibility, a tool that would allow him to move unseen in the shadows. These gifts, these instruments of divine power, proved to be the turning tide of war, shifting the balance in favor of the Olympians. With these weapons and new allies bolstering their ranks, the Olympians launched a renewed offensive. The Olympians, now empowered beyond measure, overwhelmed the Titans, pushing them back at every turn. Zeus, in a final act of retribution, banished Cronus and the defeated Titans to the deepest abyss of Tartarus, ensuring they could never threaten the cosmos again. This victory secured his rule, establishing him as the supreme ruler of the cosmos. But even in victory, new threats emerged, the seeds of future conflict sown in the aftermath of the Titanomachy. Gaia, the Earth Mother, angered by her children's imprisonment in Tartarus, unleashed the giants, monstrous beings of immense size and power. This act of vengeance ignited the Gigantomachy, a war between the gods and the giants. With the crucial help of the hero Heracles, a demigod of unparalleled strength, the gods ultimately defeated the giants, quelling Gaia's rebellion. Finally, Zeus faced Typhon, the most fearsome monster of Greek mythology, a monstrous force of chaos and destruction born from the depths of the earth. After a cataclysmic battle that threatened to tear the cosmos apart, Zeus stood as the last bastion of order. Summoning all his might, Zeus struck Typhon down with his thunderbolts, unleashing the full fury of Olympus. He then imprisoned the monstrous Typhon beneath the volcanic Mount Etna, forever sealing away the threat. These victories, hard-fought and dearly won, firmly established Zeus as the unchallenged king of gods and men, his authority absolute and his power undeniable. His reign brought order to the cosmos, ushering in an era of relative peace and stability. This marked the definitive ending of the Age of Chaos, a transition to a new era governed by divine law. The Olympians, now secure in their dominion, ruled from the majestic heights of Mount Olympus, their power unshakable, their authority unquestioned, their reign seemingly eternal. Zeus's leadership was forged in the fires of war, tested by the most formidable of foes. Through it all he emerged as the ultimate authority, the undisputed ruler of gods and mortals alike. The world of gods and mortals was forever changed, reshaped by the trials and triumphs of Zeus and the Olympians. On Olympus, Zeus ruled alongside his wife and sister Hera, the goddess of marriage. Their marriage was stormy, marked by Zeus's many affairs with goddesses, nymphs and mortals, fueling Hera's jealousy. Zeus fathered many children, gods, goddesses and heroes who shaped Greek myth. With Hera he had Ares, Hebe and Eileithyia. With Metis, Athena sprang from his head, fully armed. Other famous offspring included Apollo and Artemis with Leto, Hermes with Maia, and Heracles with the mortal Alcmena. Zeus often transformed himself to visit mortal women, leading to legendary heroes like Perseus and Minos. His large, complicated family was a source of both greatness and conflict, with Hera's wrath often targeting his children. The dramas of Zeus's family reflected the complexities of human life, making the gods relatable to the Greeks. Zeus's relationship with humanity was both protective and punishing. When Prometheus tricked him and gave fire to humans, Zeus retaliated by chaining Prometheus to a rock where an eagle tormented him daily. To punish humanity, Zeus ordered the creation of Pandora, who opened a jar releasing all the world's evils, leaving only hope inside. Disappointed by human wickedness, Zeus sent a great flood to cleanse the earth. Only Deucalion and Pyrrha survived, repopulating the world by casting stones that became new people. These stories show Zeus as both a giver of gifts and a bringer of punishment. He shaped the fate of mortals, rewarding virtue and punishing defiance. Through fire, flood and hope, Zeus's actions explained the hardships and hopes of human life. His justice was sometimes harsh, but always absolute. The myths reminded Greeks of the power and unpredictability of their king of gods. In Homer's Iliad, Zeus presides over the Trojan War, not as a partisan, but as the ultimate arbiter of fate. He weighs the destinies of heroes, allowing the war to unfold according to his will. Other gods intervene, but only with Zeus's permission. He manipulates events, sending dreams, hurling thunderbolts, and deciding the fates of Achilles, Hector, and others. Beyond Troy, Zeus's decisions shape countless myths. He allows Hades to abduct Persephone, punishes hubris, and restores order when chaos threatens. His justice is swift, sometimes severe, but always final. Every major event in myth traces back to Zeus's will. As king, judge, and father, Zeus's presence looms over all Greek stories. Zeus was worshipped under many names, each reflecting a different aspect of his power. As Zeus Olympios, he ruled the gods and was honored at the Olympic Games. As Zeus Panhellenios, he united all Greeks under his protection. Zeus Horkios was the keeper of oaths, while Zeus Agorius watched over the marketplace. As Zeus Xenios, he protected guests and travelers, making hospitality a sacred duty. He was also Zeus Keraunos, the thunderbolt thrower, and Zeus Melikios, the gentle one. These titles show Zeus's complexity: king, judge, storm god, and protector. Through these roles, Greeks connected with Zeus in every part of life. Zeus's worship spanned all of Greece, with grand temples like Olympia, home of the Olympic Games, and a colossal statue of Zeus. At Dodona, his voice was heard in the rustling of sacred oaks, while on Crete, he was honored as a youthful, reborn god. As Greek culture spread, Zeus merged with other gods, becoming Jupiter in Rome and Zeus Ammon in Egypt. Though the old religion faded, Zeus's myths endure in art, literature, and popular culture. He remains a symbol of authority, justice, and the forces of nature. His stories are timeless, exploring power, responsibility, and the struggle between order and chaos. Zeus's thunder still echoes in our imagination, a legendary king whose legacy shapes Western culture. The myths of Zeus remind us of the enduring power of stories and the gods who once ruled the world.